Hello, Keel Hauler fans. Tim Fitzgerald here with senior of the rugby team, George Petrucci. George, we're going to get to know you a little bit here. Start off telling us about where you're from and what brought you to Cal Maritime.
So I'm from Marietta, California, down in Southern California, and I just came to school for the opportunities, and I saw that there's a good rugby program, so I came out here to play.
Right on. What sort of opportunities are you seeking for after graduation? What are your post-graduation plans?
So I actually have a job lined up with the General Dynamics NASCO in their professional development program. So it's a 2-year program we'll be going into after this, where you go into different departments and then kind of learn what they do, and then you figure out where you're going to land in the company.
Awesome. Talk about some of your favorite moments as a keel hauler in your time of being part of this rugby team. Some of your favorite moments over the years.
By far my favorite moment was this past summer with the Pacific Coast Grizzlies. We actually won a national championship for the all-star teams. Besides that, actually, over my high school career, I got to play internationally. So I was in countries like Singapore, the Philippines, Malaysia, and I got to travel with my high school team. So that was a lot of fun. And then I had an opportunity to play for the Philippine national team, but then I just got hurt and couldn't figure that.
Gotcha. Tell us maybe about some of the life lessons you can take out of rugby, things that you learned from rugby that you can take into the rest of your life from your time here.
By far, just a good work ethic and to continue to improve. I think rugby is for everyone, and knowing that, just the amount of work and the time you put into it is what you'll get back out of it and anything in life. So the more you work at it and the more you're willing to put in, the more you're going to get out of it.
Absolutely, very true. Talk about that Grizzlies experience, the West Coast All-Star team of the NSCRO, of the National Small College Rugby Organization. What was that experience like, meeting players from around the country and some from around the world and getting a chance to play at that level of rugby?
I think overall it's just really funny now because we actually get to play a lot of those guys. So when we see them, we always have a laugh when we catch up. Right. And it actually brought our league really close together because it's less of like independent schools and more we're playing against our friends, so there's more camaraderie going about. And the whole experience was just amazing. I mean, having to go against all those different players and that level of play was just amazing. Like, you had to fight every second you were out there. There was nothing you could take off the whole game.
What do you get when you take on some of the big dogs of the college rugby world here at Cal Maritime? When you play Cal, St. Mary's, Army, teams like that, when you take on them, what do you take away from that and appreciate most about it?
I think it's just the opportunity to play against those larger programs. I mean, we were lucky enough to play with Cal every year, and then we played West Point last year. I think the biggest thing is when we go and we have the attitude that we're going to try our best. And even after we were done playing, we talked to the players on the other side, and they're really surprised about how determined we are to play and the level of rugby we're still at, being a small college.
Awesome. Last question for you. I've been trying to ask, like, in a yearbook question, you're most likely to. I had Phoenix Benitez, Mike O'Terre. I asked, okay, most likely to go into law enforcement, most likely to do a late-night talk show. I actually thought you might be one of the guys to go into law enforcement. If you had to make that pick on your team, who would it be?
I actually talked to them. I think Josh Bick would be a pretty good fit. For the late-night show, it would definitely be Michael McCrew and Zach Nicholas. Just anytime they get together and they're just talking, it's just so funny to be around them. There's a bunch of goofballs, and they're a good time.
Right on. Talk about, I guess, being around this team. We'll finish with that. What is the, you've mentioned that the two goofballs, that sort of group that you have. Seems like it's a pretty tight-knit bunch. How would you describe the nature of this team and the way it interacts with each other?
I think we do have a lot of fun when we're together. There's some tensions every once in a while. It's a physical sport, and we get on each other's nerves just because it's such a long season. But overall, we're really close, and we just like to have fun when we're together. And we really just need to dial in and focus on what's ahead. And we've been really building on that now.
Well, George, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining with us and talking with us here today. And best of luck the rest of the way. And thank you for tuning in.